Well, thank you so much for coming and getting me out of my El Dorado office cocoon. It's fun to flutter around with other butterflies like you. I guess I somehow advanced. I want to thank Bill, Clyde, who is out there, and Marcia, and everybody who helped me come here. And I think SCORE is doing an amazing job right now. I think they're getting better and better every year. They're using social media more. They're really getting up to speed with what's going on and helping their customers do the same. So I recommend them for your business. So, and what you may want to do is I'll be going kind of fast through a fair amount of intense information. As I'm talking, as you get confused, earmark that page, make a note of your question, and then I'll have a question and answer time, and you can go back to that. I'll have 2 question and answer times, okay? So I'm going to speak and do my presentation, and we won't take questions until I do. And then we'll take a break, and then once again, I'll give a presentation, and then we'll have questions. And that'll last longer, plus we'll do the raffle at that time. So
Can I just ask what
it's called SFBI. The network name is SFBI, and the password is up there in the corner. So a little bit about me. I am a recovered Search Deadly web designer, meaning when I started in 1998, I did not understand search engines. And I built websites where you would have to hand your business card to somebody for them to find it. If they had never heard of you and they searched for your product or something online, they would not find you. So that didn't work well, even though they liked their websites. It wasn't ideal, so I learned about search engine optimization. Had an amazing client who was really interested in that, and we spent a lot of time learning about it and successfully producing a website that competed nationally for a product. So I then thought about, well, how can I help my freelance clients? Most of my clients are freelancers, and how can I help them have a website that's easy for them to work their way up the Google ranking system so they actually show up on page 1. So I wrote a book about it, and it's called The Keyword Tutorial eBook. It won an award in 2008, and it's available on my website for free. Even though it's old, it's still valid, except for a couple of things which are mentioned on the page itself to be aware of. And since then, all my websites, I use these techniques to help people have websites that actually show up in Google. So this is interesting. So our agenda for this workshop is going to be to cover do-it-yourself web builders, mobility, search engine optimization we're going to spend a lot of time on, Google Analytics, email newsletter, conversion design or calls to action, blogging, linking, YouTube, and social integration. So, fasten your seatbelts and write down your questions. And, the search engine optimization part is the longest. And again, do remember to make notes of your questions so that you can remember what to ask me when it's time. Let's see, I have a question here. Sometimes this works great, and sometimes it doesn't work so great. Oh, I see what's happening. It's waiting for that to load again. How many of you are here to work on a website that you already have, to improve a website that you already have? Raise up high so I really see you. Okay, that's most of you. And so how many of you use WordPress? Raise your hand high if you use WordPress. So if you use other programs, raise your hand high again. And I'm just going to ask, you one by one tell me what it is, real quick, just the name of it.
Branded.me.
Okay, next. Keep your hands up if you don't mind.
My daughter does it. It's HTML.
HTML. Yes. Sir.
The company I have is called Ignite.
How does the website build? How is the website done?
It's through this company called Ignite.
Oh, Ignite did it for you. Okay. Yes.
Shopify?
Shopify, right.
Fat Cow.
Fat Cow.
CMS makes it. CMS makes it.
CMS made simple, one would hope so. Yes? Wix? I'll be talking about Wix. Okay, good to know. Yes? Fine Art America, right. Okay, good to know. Oh, connection lost. Interesting. So we have to watch this happen once more. Oh no, this is do-it-yourself web builders. So many of the ones that you've worked with I have not worked with. I'm just going to mention a few for those of you who are building your own websites. Is anyone here using WordPress.com, the free version? 2 of you. Okay, that's my favorite of all the do-it-yourself ones, but I don't know them all. And that's a great website to look at, by the way. I've worked with somebody using Wix, the gophertrapper.com in El Dorado, and I've worked with somebody using Weebly, santa-fe-landscaping.com, and we did a great job with that site in terms of search engine optimization, but you have to go through a lot of hoops. And then Squarespace. So I would say these are the ones that I have looked into more than many of yours, so we won't spend a lot of time on them. What I like about WordPress, these are some of the do-it-yourself systems here, and there's a URL at the top of the screen at the top of your page that if you keep up and turn the page and if you need to, and the URL at the top of the slide is where you can go to look at the charts that I'm showing you to compare the different do-it-yourself systems. And the good thing about Wix is that it has phone support, which is not the norm. Squarespace offers live chat support, and the premium WordPress.com offers live chat and email support. Squarespace has a very professional look. I am a WordPress designer, and WordPress is used, the amount of websites using WordPress compared to any other system is huge. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. So some of my examples are going to be in WordPress since I can't do examples in every program for you. But this URL will take you to a comparison for WordPress.com, which is free, versus WordPress.org. And these are some of the differences between the free and the professional version. I believe that if you're getting started, and many of you have already started, so I won't spend a lot of time on this, that WordPress.com is the best, because unless you need e-commerce right away, you can build your site at WordPress.com, have free hosting, get a custom domain for $18, and when you're ready for a professional version of your website with e-commerce or whatever else you need, you export out of WordPress.com into your new site, and you don't have any of that hellish experience of shifting from one platform to another. And I'll take questions, I promise. Don't forget to ask me, though. So WordPress.org is my favorite professional website system, and I'm giving you an example of one that I built. It's the most popular. It's the easiest to update based on everything I've read and everything I've looked at. Joomla is what I used to do for years, and I loved it until I was sold on WordPress, and now I am. Squarespace, I would say I'm putting it both in the do-it-yourself category and in the professional category, because there are a lot of professional websites on Squarespace that look absolutely beautiful. It's just that you're limited as to what you can do on there. So we'll just take a quick look at this. As far as content management systems, monsters of CMS, WordPress and Joomla are the two, and WordPress has 140 million downloads compared to 30. It's got thousands of themes, it's got thousands of plugins, it's really easy to install, it's extremely easy to install. I guess that's both the same thing. Ease of moderation, and your skill is low for maintaining the site. Now, I would say WordPress can be tricky for building it, but once you build it, once it's built, maintaining it can be really easy. I love that for my clients, how easy it is for them. So let's talk about mobility. How many of you are positive that your website looks good and is legible on a mobile phone without zooming? Raise your hand. Okay, so you're sure. Okay, you've checked it on a mobile phone. You don't have to zoom in with your fingers. It looks good. It's legible. That's what you want, all right? Google now penalizes non-responsive, non-mobile websites, which means you're not likely to show up in the ranking in Google anymore. If your website doesn't work on mobile devices, and a problem with a lot of these do-it-yourself systems is that they're not up to speed with that yet. They will be soon. I mean, they have to be, because you cannot leave this in the dust. So this URL at the bottom of the screen goes directly to Google's website, but you can see Google says it will have a significant impact in search results if you're not mobile, if you're not responsive. So think about a responsive website responds to the size and the width of the screen that you're looking at and adjusts accordingly. How do you know whether you are or you aren't in Google's eyes, right? So this URL is where you go to check. You go to that URL, you paste your URL into the field there, and Google tells you it's not mobile friendly, or it is. Now, if you look here, you see how hard that would be to read on a phone and how you have to zoom in, okay? That's basically it. If you look at your website on a phone, it'll tell you whether it's Google mobile friendly or not, but it's really good to check on this website because that tells you what Google says. And Google may have an opinion that you need to work some things out, in which case you do. So here's the website that I made for the Antioch Church at the Loretto Chapel. And I put santafe.church, by the way. It was an awesome domain name, right? Can you imagine a better domain name for a church in Santa Fe than santafe.church? As it's already showing up really high in Google. So Google said, yes, this page is mobile friendly. And I want to show you what it looks like on a computer. So compare what's on the right, which is what it looks like on a computer, with what's on the left, how it looks on a phone. Because the theme that I'm using adjusts everything to work on the phone. You don't have to have two websites. You have one website with a theme that is responsive, or template that is responsive. So I can't tell you how important this is, all right, to have a responsive, mobile-friendly website. So now we're going to start talking about search engine optimization. And that we're going to spend a fair amount of time on this subject. And it simply is the use of techniques to improve your ranking, all right? The idea being, find the phrases that your ideal customer is likely, I shouldn't say is Googling, is likely to be Googling for what you have to offer, okay? So, has anybody here paid for SEO? No, good. Okay. Does anybody not understand this reference here? Okay, we're all of a certain age, right? Many of us, not all of us, but
Does this match certain pages that you could tell us?
it should. I guess they left that out because it's a pure graphic, maybe. It was left out. They left it out. So, but I don't think you really need it in your worksheets. It's just a picture. But I will tell you, how many of you thought, if I build a website, they will come? I mean, come on, raise your hand if it's true. So we all thought that. We all wanted that, right? We all want that. The whole world wants that. If I build it, they will come. But they will not come unless you know what you're doing, okay, and you do it right. But how do you do it right? Basically, you think relevance, relevant text. What are my potential customers interested in? What do they need to know? What do they want to know relative to what I'm offering? And how much of that can I fill my website with via pages and a blog? So if you have relevant content that's useful for your visitors, and a lot of it, that's what Google likes. I mean, you don't have to do a lot of tricks. In fact, white hat SEO versus black hat SEO, white hat is relevance, black hat is tricks, okay? There are some techniques I will show you that also add relevance, but if you're doing something that's meant just to trick Google and has no value to your reader, it's probably going to get snagged by Google in their net, and you may get blacklisted. So black hat SEO examples, and the URL on this screen will take you to a much more in-depth article. And I'm sorry if some of the pages are missing. I didn't see the workbook till tonight. So definitely, let's say you find out that xeriscape landscaping is your keyword, is your main keyword, right? That's what you want, people who are searching for that to come to your website. Don't put that phrase 100 times on a page. Put that phrase in a reasonable, natural, organic way so that as people read your content, it's comfortable for them. They don't feel like they're being pelleted by keywords, okay? You don't want to turn people off, right? Which is easy on the web. You need to encourage them. So you don't want to stuff your keywords. You don't want to use unrelated keywords. Like, you know, don't put anything on your website that's not related to your business in order to attract people who are searching for something completely different. Google will catch it. If you have a website that's on a mobile device and a separate website on a desktop, you can't do that. Google will penalize you for duplicate content. You have to put them together. And as far as links go, just be careful. It's good to have people link to you. I have thousands, if not thousands of pages linking to me. Why? Because I built all those websites and my URL is in the footer as the web designer. So it's valid. But if you try to get people to link to you from crummy websites that are just packed with links to websites saying that this will help your ranking, do not do it, because those are called link farms and Google will penalize you for that, very much so. And don't do anything like put white text on a white background. Don't do anything to try to trick Google that doesn't add value to your website in the eyes of your visitor. Okay, so it's really kind of common sense. Everything you do needs to add value to your website. But how do you figure out what is the ideal keyword for your website, or multiple keywords? And you want to identify your client, your ideal client. And the biggest mistake most people make is they think it's the whole world. Okay? You do not want to attempt to compete with all the websites in the world for customers, right? In that industry that you're in. You want to find a niche. You want to fish with a small net, okay? So that your likelihood of showing up in Google is higher, even though fewer people are searching for that. Most people in this room don't need 1 million people to find them on page 1 of Google tomorrow, right? You need maybe 100 a month or something. It depends on everybody's business. But I'm going to give you an example of my star client this year, Lucy Moore. She's a mediator, okay? And so she has a drop-down menu here. And under that, one of her links is environmental mediation, and she wants to show up for the search. When somebody searches in Google for environmental mediation, she wants to show up for that. So we put it not just in the website, we didn't just make a page for it, we made a navigation item that's on every page so that when you click on environmental mediation, and note, it's not just mediation. We would never have done just mediation because the competition would be too huge. We're niching down to environmental mediation, so there's a likelihood of her actually showing up. And she does. So I'm going to explain what goes behind this idea in terms of my theory of web design. So, graphics are beautiful, I realize. I believe, and this is all in my book that you can download, that a website's like a human being. It has a skeleton, it has flesh, it has clothing. Now, the skeleton are the keywords that your ideal customer is searching for, the phrases that your ideal customer is searching for, okay? So you want to hang the content on those phrases. And most people, I would say, build the website and then they stuff the bones in to the body later. It doesn't work quite as well, although you can do it. But here's how it works. Like the domain name would be the spinal column, okay? LucyMoore.com. Now it's ideal if your domain name is more of a keyword phrase. If she were just an environmental mediator, we might use that as her domain name. But since she's many things, we are using her name as her domain name. And then she has an about page, which is one of her navigation items, which doesn't help her with search engine optimization because there are too many billions and trillions of about pages, but we didn't really care about that. And then mediation approach is another one of her navigation items. So we're talking about the menu. When I say navigation items, home, about, services, those are they. And mediation approach could be a very good one for her. Guest lecturer could be a very good one for her. And environmental mediation is sort of the one we're really working on for her. So for you to find out what keywords are best for you to use, I put this silly Cupid Google thing just to cheer me up while I'm making PowerPoint presentations, but partly because Google is very angelic in offering us this keyword planner for free. Okay, the top link is the planner that you go to. I'm going to show you how it works to find out how many people are searching for environmental mediation a month. Okay, and it's very different from going to Google and typing in environmental mediation and seeing how many pages show up. No, we want to know how many people are searching, even though that's important. We want to know how many people are searching. The second URL is for a video that tells you how to use this, this feature, okay, the Google Keyword Planner. It's a very simple video. Now, I said Google is angelic, but also not so much, because when you get to that top URL, Google is going to try to get you to give them your credit card. It's going to try to get you to do an AdWords campaign. It's going to funnel you through a whole bunch of hoops, and it's not intuitive to see how to avoid that. So this article down here will tell you how to avoid that. And if it doesn't work, please go to my blog because I elaborate on it a little bit. Essentially, you don't have to give them your credit card. You can use this tool for free, okay? But what is it like to use this tool? This is what it looks like once you get in there, all right? So you get in there and you type environmental mediation. I want to find out how many people are searching for environmental mediation. And they have this new, very cool thing now. You can choose mobile trends. You can see how many people on mobile devices are searching for your keyword phrase. I see somebody shaking his head here. I know. Well, this particular graph shows you both mobile and total. Okay? So you get both. Why not see? Those purple ones at the bottom, they're mobile. Next year, they're going to be higher. Next year, they're going to be higher. It's insane. This whole topic of responsiveness, I gave a workshop for SCORE 2 years ago, didn't touch it. Now, if I were to avoid that topic, I'd really be failing you. So you can see that 110 people a month are searching for environmental mediation. That's not nobody. 110, I mean, you may want more, but still, 110 is a good number for her as a mediator. How many clients does she need? So if you search for, in Google, environmental mediation, 44 million pages, 44.4 million pages come up. She's on page 1. And this is just months, since she started. Maybe 6, I'd have to check. But that's pretty amazing. So 110 people are seeing her link. And as she keeps blogging, which is her great skill and love and passion, which I realize is not true for everyone, but the more you can make it a passion for yourself, the better off you will be. As she keeps blogging, she will move up this towards the top of page 1 of Google, and that's what you're hoping for, right? You're also hoping for a nice description down here under the link so that it entices people to click on that link. And remember, 110 people a month. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you that HubSpot link there, in case you're interested in learning how to show up at the top with a picture and a description like that, that's like primo real estate up there, and that article will help you understand that better. It's way too intense for me to go into right now. But 110 people a month are searching for environmental mediation, so it's great for her.
Now, on this it says
Can we-
110K. On the little purple bar?
Oh, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. It's 110 people a month. I'm sorry.
Could you put that screen back just for a sec for that URL?
I hope so. It's on your sheets.
It is on the sheet?
Yeah, it's all on the sheets.
Page 18.
I'm sorry, okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. So, yeah, I think you have them all. Here we go. Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. And now, where to put the keywords, all right? I could spend a lot of time, and because you all have like 20 different platforms you're using, it's impossible for me to show you each place and how to do it, okay? But your web designer will know how. You can simply do the keyword research yourself based on what you and I are doing tonight, based on the book that I've written, and I have videos on my website as well. And then you can give the keywords to your web person, or you can yourself put them in the domain name, ideally. Now that is a subject by itself. It would be helpful for you to have a keyword phrase. I used to be webdesignbyhope.com. How many people do you think who never heard of me were searching for Web Design by Hope? Not so much, right? Now I'm Santa Fe Web Design. I'm number 1 when you search for Santa Fe Web Design. It is by no means just the domain name. I have a very content-rich website. I have a lot of stuff going on, and so that's a big part of it. But anyway, the domain name, if you can use a keyword phrase in your domain name, that's great. If you have to use a phrase that's not so good for keywords like hopekaya.com or something like that, then you can get a second domain name. But then you have to do a permanent 301 redirect from the Google unfriendly one to the Google friendly one, and that does work. Title tags, so the title of your blog post, the title of your page, you definitely want that to have keywords in it. You don't want it to say what I think, ... You do want it to say what I think about organic dog food or whatever it is that you're writing about, okay? You need the phrase organic dog food in there if you want people searching for organic dog food to find you, right? The descriptive meta tag, just all these places are, I'm not even going to list them all. You can read, you can talk to your web designer about it, or if you want to ask me individually about each one later during the Q&A, you're welcome to. But that's where they should go. And now, I want to talk a little bit about Google Analytics. How many people are using Google Analytics on their site now? A few, okay. It's pretty cool. And if you have a WordPress site, I won't belabor this, you can have on your dashboard, you can have a plugin that shows you right off the bat, boom, these are my stats. And you can look at the different aspects. How fast are people bouncing out of my site? What pages do they like the most? What are they searching for? Where are they coming from? And it's useful depending on how much time you want to spend adjusting your website based on the behavior of your viewers. So now you get to ask the questions that you've put down, and then we'll take a break, if that's okay with you guys. Yes?
What you just mentioned about Google Analytics, is that only, do you have access to it only in WordPress?
No.
Website?
So Google Analytics, you can use, some of these programs do not let you install Google Analytics in your website. But if your program allows you to install a little piece of code in your website, or even easier, hook you up directly with your login to Google. You basically need a login for Google, okay? Everybody should have a Google login, absolutely. And then you go and search for Google Analytics. Takes you right to the home page. You create an account. And then it says, basically, tell us what your website is and hook it up. And they tell you how. There are multiple ways to hook it up. Some programs like WordPress make it easier. And then even if your program doesn't let you have a dashboard with this kind of display, you can log into Google Analytics and get all of this information without being anywhere near WordPress or anything like that. There's no loss, absolutely no loss. I just like trying to make things really simple and easy for people. Next question. Yes, Marcia.
Where do we find your book?
So it's on. Did I plant you? This is my website, and I wanted to show it to you because it has a bunch of calls to action anyway. You see this Get Started button? That's a call to action. We'll be talking more about that. And then just all kinds of stuff. All right, so if you go to ebook at the top menu item, you'll see that you can download the book, okay, for free. Yes. Any next question? Yes.
Does the WordPress.com have well, I'm not very savvy with this, but
That's okay. Nobody is.
oh my gosh, I'm just wondering. The domain name, I heard
Right.
it's better to have a
Yes. Great question. Okay. I gave you on your. The question is how to handle domain names with WordPress.com, the free site. Okay. Can you have a custom domain name or not? And the answer is yes, you can. So I showed you on one of your early sheets an example of a link going to tallym.wordpress.com. So you can see her domain name has WordPress in it. But if she were to pay $18 a year, she could avoid that WordPress and just have a regular domain name, but still not have to pay for hosting, not have to deal with security, not have as many options, not have as many themes, and many little drawbacks. But I mean, if I were starting fresh, I would start with WordPress.com, give it a custom domain name, whatever domain name you can get that's the best for you, and then when you're ready, export that site into your new WordPress.org based, your professional website using the same domain name, Just get hosting with a company that supports WordPress, and I actually help people with that for free. But so
you can get your domain name on a separate site.
get your domain. Well, you can get your domain name on GoDaddy. You can get your domain name on WordPress.com too, if you want. I'm pretty sure they'll sell it to you. There are a million places to get a domain name, and but I think you may have to. I'm not sure. I'm sure if you have it on GoDaddy or another registrar, that they will let you use that and point it to your WordPress.com free site. I know it's confusing, the difference between the two versions, but just know that the one that's not free means you have to pay for hosting. Does anybody not know what a host is? Would you like to know? You all know, or are you afraid to tell me you don't know what a host is? Okay, so a host is a company that makes your website visible to the world. A registrar is a company that lets you buy a domain name. So you buy a domain name through GoDaddy. You might host also. GoDaddy may be your host as well as your registrar, or not. I have a zillion clients who use GoDaddy as their registrar only, and then point that domain to a host that's more suitable for you. Yes?
I've created my website through Vistaprint,
Oh,
and
all my business cards that are there are Vistaprint business cards, yeah.
I've had it for a very long time. But when I hear WordPress.com, I get thrown by that phrase, WordPress. I'm thinking that it's only text. Can you actually use images? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's very full-featured up to a point. Yes, video, you name it, everything pretty much, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's fabulous. Did you have a question?
Yeah, keywords and searching keywords.
Yes.
Will the search engines, if you put in a plural, ignore the S, or if you don't put it in, sort of put that in the mix?
That's a subtle one.
Yeah.
You're a tricky one. So what I do is I use the Google Keyword Planner. I put the singular version in, I check the results. I put the plural version in, I check the results. If there's a big difference between the plural and the singular, if it doesn't confuse the visitor in some way, I use whatever one is being searched for more. Right? Yes.
Isn't it true that the top 3 names that come up on Google are purchased?
Okay, so are the top 3 names that show up in Google purchased? Not necessarily, because it may be that nobody purchased that phrase. But what you're talking about is a Google AdWord campaign, pay-per-click campaign. And more often than not, when you do a Google search, the top 3 and possibly the right column are all ads, but they tell you that they're ads with a little thing that says ad. So yeah, you can pay to show up. You can pay $12 a click. You can pay a lot of money, but if you can do what I'm teaching here and improve your search engine optimization in an organic way, that's the term they use, organic search engine optimization as opposed to pay per click, then people trust it more. People trust the links that are not paid for. Makes total sense.
I try to avoid them, using them.
I do too, yes.
How do you abandon a domain name?
Oh, that's a great question. How do you drop a domain name without just letting the credit card drop, you mean?
Right.
Well, you can cancel a registration, but I want to tell you a scary, scary story before you do that. I have a client, and I'm embarrassed to tell you, although I did tell her not to do it, she had used her name, and then she decided she was having 2 websites, one for her name, personal kind of website, one business, and she decided to drop the one with her name. And she's a fairly well-known author in her field, right? She dropped it, and then a cyber squatter got hold of it. Cyber squatting is when somebody decides to pretend they're you. And then, so a pharmaceutical drug scammer guy got hold of her name and had half of it look like her and half of it was trying to sell drugs. And what we ended up doing is she had to, she got her name .net. It used to be .com. She got .net, and we optimized until it got up above that mean person cyber squatting, and then they dropped it because they realized they couldn't sell her back that domain for like $20,000, whatever they wanted to get for it. So you want to be careful if you're dropping a domain that you're not risking somebody getting a hold of it. In the sense that if you had a lot of viewers, probably, I went forward, I didn't mean to. So if you have a lot of viewers on your original website, you don't want them suddenly going to somebody cyber squatting as you and giving you a bad name. I had a website, people in Virginia when I was there for a couple of years, and it was a square dancing site, and a porn site took it over. I mean, I don't know, there's just something so horribly ironic about that. So I think we have to stop soon. We do need to take a break so that I can continue the talk and then get more questions. So let's take 15 minutes, coffee, cookies, and don't forget to ask me your questions also later. Thank you. Are we ready to move on? And we'll have more questions later. How many of you have an email newsletter that you send out? Nobody. So why? Because it's a pain in the butt, right?
Yeah.
So I want to show you an easier way. How many of you blog? Please, somebody, please.
No.
Yay. You're thinking about it. Okay. So I am going to give you a little lecture right now. But I'm going to go back to it and emphasize it. Can we ask, is it now you want to ask, or do you want to, can you ask later during the question time? No? Oh, somebody was.
This is a relative question.
Yeah.
I do know what a blog is in my head, what a blog is. But you know, when I was talking to my web lady, she had a different idea about what a blog was. And so I just want to know, when you say blogging, what is it that you mean?
Let us go into that, and when I get to the blogging section of this talk, I will, I promise. So for now, we're going to talk about newsletters. I will go into that more. I was about to lecture you, but I'll wait. You're right. So remember Lucy Moore, who has this website for mediation? She has on her website a sign-up form, okay? This is WordPress, and we have a plugin. We're using a plugin that means every time she puts a new blog post in, it automatically goes to her subscribers. She doesn't have to create a newsletter. She has to add a sentence to a little page in the back end of WordPress with a teaser to that blog post. But she does a blog post every first of every month. She plans it in advance, and then she schedules it to go out on the first of the month. And when the blog post is published to her website, the newsletter goes out to all of her subscribers. So if you go to her website and you sign up for her list, she's not making a newsletter. She's adding a blog post once a month, and that blog post goes out automatically. And her readership is growing, her presence is growing. It's really wonderful, I think. Now, there are lots of ways to do newsletters. MailChimp. I use MailChimp. I used to use Aweber. I use MailChimp now because it's free. And it does let you automate. It lets you, even in a more customized form, automate so that when you make a new blog post, or you make 2 or 3, or every 2 weeks, or every month, it'll send out a newsletter with a series of links to those blog posts, including the picture, the very first picture on the blog post. You can customize it. You can do whatever you want. So it's a pain in the butt to set up. I think it's getting easier now. I've really had to scratch my head for a long time to get it to work, but once it's working, it's working. And I can actually show you an example of one of them later if you ask me, remind me. Constant Contact is good and popular, but it doesn't automate. And for all of you who are not doing a newsletter, I say start blogging and then automate. Aweber is paid and does automate. In the email subscribers plugin that I mentioned earlier is what I'm using with Lucy Moore on WordPress only. So now beyond newsletters, we are going into conversion design or calls to action. I want to show you a URL. You can go to that URL to see the full article that I'm just taking little snippets from here. But like a typical sign-up form might look like that, kind of like Lucy's. We need to dress hers up. But a nicer one would look like that, right? Where it's popping, it's eye-popping. Your eye goes to it. It's appealing. It's attractive. It makes you want it. Put your email in there compared to a boring bland. So calls to action are really any way that you are telling somebody what to do. And it may sound pushy or funny, but the truth is we all have ADD when we're looking at websites. It's like, tell me what to do. What am I doing here again? And if you say contact me, that's a call to action. If you put it in a nice button, it's a more effective call to action. The more you tell people what to do, you guide them along the route to whatever your goals are for them, even if it's buy now. That's a call to action. So you can go to that URL that I gave you on that sheet, and you can learn a lot, not just about calls to action and conversion design, which is an expansion of calls to action, but A/B testing, so that you can have, a sign-up form on this page that's red with it says get started, and a sign-up form on this page that's blue, and then you can test the results and how many people are signing up on you can do A/B testing. That's what that is. All right, now we're on the blogging subject. What is a blog? And I'm glad you asked me, what is a blog? It's a really hard question to answer, actually, because it's kind of vague. Most of us have the idea that a blog is a place where you write down, what you did this morning, or what the trip you took, or it's a journal kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's gone so far beyond that. It's really, it really is an easy way to add content to your website. I would say it could be any kind of content, right? I have a web marketing blog. You could have any kind of, you could be uploading, adding any kind of information and images that you want. That's a blog, as long as you're updating it yourself and it's in one place and you have a series of articles or posts that push the old ones down and the new one shows up on top. That's a blog, and businesses use them extensively. The wonderful thing about them is that you have an easy way to log into your website and go new blog post, and you put a title and you put text and you put a picture, and ideally you put a link to one of your web pages in there, and boom, you've just added content to your website. I'm going to go into this in more depth. Every time you add content to your website, you are increasing your value in Google's eyes. But let's go into the details. You want to engage your visitors. You want to keep them coming back. You want to raise your Google ranking. You want to attract new visitors. You want the next slide to show up. When you submit your sitemap, do you know if you have a sitemap? Raise your hand if you know you have a sitemap. Okay, I'll tell you. A sitemap is a list of every page on your website. Link, 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 link. And it's something that is automatically created in WordPress and other programs. It has to be created in many programs, and then you submit that URL to Google Webmaster Tools, and that means every time you put a new anything on your website, Google gets a ping, 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 and Google thinks, you, better, better, better. The more you are pinging Google about new content, as long as it's valid and it's not junk, the more likely you are to be climbing the ladder of the Google ranking results, okay? Now, the important thing is, I have a very sad story that you can all benefit from, and I hope none of you will raise your hand when I ask. Does anybody here have a website here on this URL and a blog over here on this URL? Good, because if you do, let's say you do like I did 15 years ago. I had a website, HTML Dreamweaver website over here, and I had a Blogspot blog over here. And I would link to my blog, to my website from my blog, and all of a sudden my website was gone completely for months from the Google search results because Google decided that I had a link farm. A link farm. I was linking too much from one place to my website. But if you put that blog inside your website under your domain, so my blog is, I think it's santafe-webdesign.com/blog, then you can link to yourself as to your heart's content and benefit enormously from it. I want to show you something that I've fallen madly in love with, even though it's irrelevant for most of you. If you had WordPress and you log into the back end and you go to Tools and you drag that button up to the top, you have installed Press This, and it comes with every version of WordPress there is. And then you say to yourself, gosh, I want to share this web page. I love this website. I want to share it on my blog. You push Press This, boom. You have a blog post that you've started that has a snippet from that web page and a link to that web page, and it's modifiable by you. So you can add text. So you see here I added text. I love this website. If you want to get a head start with WordPress, this is the place to be. And WP Beginner is the place to go if you want to learn WordPress. So it's just like you go to a web page that you feel, and you can do this even without Press This. You can do it anyway. No matter what your blog is, you can go to a website you like, a web page you like, something that's valid and useful for your readers. And this is what I used to do until I got WordPress. Copy the URL, paste it into a blog post, talk about that web page, and use other people's content as your inspiration for blogging. That's just one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is think about what problems have you solved for your customers? How have you enhanced their lives, okay? What did you sell them that really made a difference for them? And you blog about that. Or what if it's like in this case, how can I get color all season with Xeriscape plantings? Let's say you have customers asking you that question. You're answering it a lot. You get to use your experience as a business person as your own inspiration to write a Q&A. Even if your whole blog isn't a Q&A, let's say just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 12 of your posts are Q's and A's, right? You can do it whatever way you want. But if you look through your list of clients, you're going to go, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what to write about. What am I thinking? And of course, get testimonials from them. Blogging, I'm going to go back to just to say blogging is the one thing that has helped my customers more than anything because it's free. Most of my freelance customers do not want to pay for search engine optimization, $300 to $600 a month often. I don't do it. I'm not interested in it. But they want the free, easy way. So if once a week, and even Lucy Moore, once a month, she's blogging very consistently. But if you do it consistently, you can really make a difference. And you're writing, you're learning, you're expressing, you're connecting. So I want to say, please blog. Please consider blogging. And then you want to get linked. In other words, you want, if possible, and I don't really emphasize this with my clients in real life because nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to ask somebody, would you link to me from your website to my website? Would you use the phrase Santa Fe web design? And don't use my URL, but please use the phrase and link to me using that phrase, which is the way you want to do it, by the way. But so, you know, most people don't want to bother doing it. And I find blogging works extremely well. It's easier, it's free, you're in your own office, you're not bugging anybody. But if you can do it, do it. Get people to link to you. And who? Your happy clients, strategic partners, see people in your industry that are not competitive to you, so you could link to them and they could link to you. People who are blogging, people who tweet, your Facebook friends. You know, you can get people to link to you if you spend the time doing it. Yeah. So then you can also link to yourself. And this cherub basically means Google loves what I'm teaching you right now. Okay? That's all it means. But so let's say that you can link from a blog post to a page on your site. Now this is, I cannot tell you how powerful this is, all right? Somebody give me the name of what you're doing. What are you doing? What's your business online?
I don't have one.
What's your business?
Art.
Art. Okay, so give me more of a niche like watercolor?
Pastel painter.
Pastel painter, landscape?
Yes.
Pastel landscape painter, okay. And let's say your name is?
Lally.
Lally has a section of her website called Pastel Landscape Paintings, okay, which is what you want because you want to niche it down. Art is the toughest thing to compete with online. So you want to make sure you're very niched, all right? So pastel landscape paintings, right? And so she has a whole section, a portfolio of pastel landscape paintings on her website, right? A bunch of thumbnails, you click on them, they get bigger, blah, blah, blah. So she writes a blog post because she just finished a beautiful pastel landscape painting for somebody. And they said, ooh la la. And so she puts, you know, Mary said, ooh la la. And here's the one I finished for her. And you can see all my link pastel landscape paintings here on link. So you have a line under that phrase, and it click on it and it goes to your portfolio for pastel landscape paintings, and Google goes, oh wow, she's a real expert on pastel landscape paintings because she has a phrase that matches what people are searching for, that's going directly to a page that is optimized for that phrase because that's the title and that's what it contains. Did that make sense to everybody? Okay, I'm really glad it made sense, because if you can go that far, you're going a step beyond most people, which gives you a huge advantage, okay? So you can link from a blog post to another blog post. Something relates to something, you add a link, and oh yeah, I wrote more about this, learn more about tandem bicycling on this post that I wrote last week. And you highlight tandem bicycling, and you click that
To their website.
to your own. I did that on the previous slide. I discussed linking to other people's website, but in this slide I'm discussing linking inside your own website, which is so much easier because you have permission, you don't have to ask anybody. So like I showed you in the bones, the navigation is a great place to have these links, right? Of course, Google Maps, Twitter, Facebook, all the social media platforms are going to link to you. And we'll talk more about social integration later in terms of what to do. But I want to emphasize that when you make a link, don't link to, like let's say you're doing a blog post and you want to link to your pastel paintings gallery. You don't put, go here, http://www.pastellandscape.com// no, you say the words, visit my pastel landscape paintings with spaces page, and you link that, and that way Google matches it with people searching with those spaces, with those words in Google. Okay, so that's important. Whew. Now, discussion. So I'm going to show off Lucy Moore. This is one of her blog posts. You can tell she writes a lot. This is one blog post. And the newsletter goes out to everybody, and she invites them to comment. They comment, she replies, they comment, she replies, they comment, she replies, they comment, she replies. So she is generating a lot of discussion. She has a comment field on her blog so that you can add comments. And every time somebody comments, Google goes, oh, ping. And so your chances of climbing that ladder have just grown. It is risky to have commenting. There's more of a hackability issue that can happen. You have to make sure that you monitor you moderate. You don't let people comment without being moderated first. You need to have security installed on your site in a way that will protect you from being completely broken by people that can hack in. WordPress makes that pretty easy, and most of the places that you guys are working with probably do too. So discussion is a really great thing if you can encourage it on your website. Now, how many of you have a YouTube channel? No, okay. One? Did I see a hand? No. Okay, me. So, did you know?
YouTube channel, what do you mean?
Okay, YouTube channel. What is it? It's a good question. YouTube channel is your home on YouTube where you get to have a name. Mine is Keyword Hope. So if you go to youtube.com/Keyword Hope, you'll see my YouTube channel. I did a slew of videos on how to work on your Joomla website, which was my specialty before. And so I have to tell you that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Google is number one. Google owns YouTube. More searches are done from inside YouTube than any other place except google.com. It's incredible. Just sort of watch this float by and think about what YouTube is doing now. 1 billion unique visitors a month. 190 million Americans have watched. That's 61% of us. Every month is on the left, every day is in the middle, every minute on the right. 1 billion unique visitors a month. 100 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. Every minute. It's really kind of an incredible place. So why YouTube, though? Why would you do it? First of all, let's say you have a website and you've taken some videos on your phone even that are relevant for your customers. And you create a channel and you upload that video from your phone, boom, right up to YouTube, okay? And then all of a sudden, and you go into YouTube and you put a description and you think, what are people searching for relative to this video I just uploaded? You know, Xeriscape landscaping? So I name it Xeriscape landscaping video, and I put the phrase Xeriscape landscaping in the description, right? And now I have a video on YouTube, and I'll show you how you put that in your website if it's WordPress, but it's similar in most places. Now you have, if people are searching for that on YouTube, you have a whole new platform. It's not your website, it's not your Facebook, it's not Twitter, it's just YouTube. You have a whole new venue for attracting customers. That's one reason. Another reason is when you embed your YouTube videos on your website, YouTube is streaming those videos. Your server, the people you pay for hosting every month, do not have to handle that streaming. They don't have to have the specialty features that YouTube has. YouTube knows what they're doing for optimizing the site that you upload and streaming the video, that you upload. So you're putting that in YouTube's hands. So I want to show you my YouTube page, and that's a URL to it. That's a URL to another page about it being the largest search engine, second largest search engine. But I have 230 something subscribers. 174,000 people have watched my videos. And let's say I wanted to post this. We had a rattlesnake on our road last summer, and I got a video of it. Let's say I wanted to post it on, for no good reason, my website. I would go to that YouTube video, go to the YouTube video, click on the share button down there, copy the URL there, and in the case of WordPress and many other programs, all I have to do is create a new post and paste the URL, that thing that was in share, right there, and boom, it shows up as a video, even in the back end, not just in the front end, and then publish it, and you have now shared a video. Ideally, you've posted, you've published, you have a blog post with a video in it. It's insanely easy, actually, once you get in the groove, and video is a great way of maintaining your visitors, right?
On your website?
I don't think I actually did put the rattlesnake on there, but
But you're putting them
yeah,
on your website.
yes, that's what you want. You absolutely want to do that. One, because it's easy as pie. Two, because it holds people's attention. And okay?
How does the YouTube video relate and connect to your website? I see that you pasted it in and you can see that. And does that, so instead of like say, if I have a Facebook page, and instead of uploading the video to my Facebook page directly through my Facebook page, I could create this YouTube account and paste in that to Facebook or to my WordPress.
The answer is yes.
Those things would link back. And does that YouTube account relate to my business and my website? Like, how is all of that interrelated to up the hits on your website?
I'm not sure I fully understand the question, but let's just say that you have a YouTube channel and you're getting hits in YouTube, and you have a link to your website from YouTube, that would be good. But if you're embedding those videos in your website from YouTube, that is the integration, and you're benefiting in both places. So let's talk more about it after I finish the slideshow if you need more description. And I will be getting to the questions really soon. I was hoping to do the raffle too. We're doing really well, actually. If I could move on from YouTube, but please don't forget your questions about YouTube. YouTube is wonderful and important, and I would love to answer them in more depth. So social integration. How many people were here last week for the, wasn't that great? I thought it was great. I've already been thinking up an ad, a Facebook ad to do myself because I'm offering free WordPress setup for people now, and a zillion people are searching for that. So I'm going to do a Facebook ad for that. I know that Score has had great results with their Facebook ads. I was so impressed by Ray Berger last week talking about how they have way upped their people joining and so on by using Facebook ads. But if you have a website, you want to have something like your icons need to be on there linking to your social media pages, okay? It's not hard to do most of the time. And also you want to share. I'm going to show you my sharing function on my website later after this is over, because do you know the difference between social following and social sharing, or would you like to know the difference? Yes. So here is, I don't know where my pointer's right here. So these icons here, see where it says follow us on? That means you're going to Robin's Contemporary Alexander School. She's amazing, by the way. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. That's what she has. You're going to her profiles, her business profiles on those platforms when you click on those icons. But what if you want to go to yours and you want to share this page with the people that come to your Facebook page or your Twitter or your Instagram, Pinterest, blah, 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 blah? Then you have to have another set of buttons that say share this page. And then if I click on that, it'll take them to my Facebook page, and I get to say, oh, check out Robin's website. She does the most amazing Contemporary Alexander training work. Okay? So, and it has a link to her webpage. It's a wonderful thing if you can encourage people to share your website. Okay? But my clients, as a rule, don't want to bother with social media. Most of my clients are freelancers. They want to focus on their business. They don't actually like almost anything that I'm teaching you tonight. So, but there are programs that will automate it for you, okay? And this is one of many for WordPress, where every time you add a blog post, it goes out to your different social media venues and posts for you. And I tried it, and because I've recently made a new website and I've been updating old posts, I found that I had the problem of old ancient posts suddenly going out. So I disabled it, and I have decided to pretty much stay manual, and I'll explain what that means. But let's stay with the automated for a second. These kind of programs will help you automatically post to your social media every time you add a blog post. Now, you can see here, this particular one works with all of those different social media platforms. Or Hootsuite is one that is separate from any program you have that works with pretty much any program you have. So if you have a blog, Hootsuite will let you automate your posts to your different social media platforms. Now, what I'm doing now is really the best way to do it, is you write a blog post, you publish it. You go up to the address bar in your browser and you highlight the URL. Does that make sense to everybody, what I just said? Highlight the URL in the address bar for your browser, copy it, paste it into Facebook, a new post on Facebook. Boom! It shows that web page. All it needs is the URL, and you can add a few words. If you can do that for Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, If it's a picture, really good, you want to do Instagram, Pinterest, as much as you can bear to do. But if you can do those 3 manually, it works really dependably, number 1. Number 2, the algorithms don't penalize you as much as they might if you're automating, because Facebook does know when you're automating. I am ready for some more questions from you. Yes.
What's RSS?
You have Real Simple Syndication. You are looking at the page that I was showing about newsletters, newsletter programs like MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact. Basic, what? There's a page, page 21. So it says RSS over and over, and that was probably unwise of me without explaining it. It means Real Simple Syndication. It simply indicates that that particular program is amenable to auto-posting a newsletter based on your blog posts. Automating a newsletter means automating a newsletter. Next, yes?
I just got back a little while ago from Chaco Canyon,
Oh,
and I took a whole bunch of photographs. And
Chaco Canyon.
I plan on painting them.
Oh,
Am I clear from what you're saying that I could possibly put a blog up there and say, I've just been to Chaco Canyon, and this is, you know, I've taken pictures and it's a wonderful place to go and I'm going to paint or whatever. And could I then insert the Chaco Canyon website URL so that they know how to get there?
yes.
Do I need permission from
No.
Chaco Canyon, whoever
They're
they are?
happy.
They love it. They love it. They love it.
Okay.
Let's go to the Google Keyword Planner for a second. This is the tool that I am advising you to use. I'm going to put in here Chaco Canyon,
Okay.
and I'm going to let Google tell me how many people are searching for Chaco Canyon. I should have waited for the raffle. So I'm going to the keywords section. 18,100 people a month are searching for Chaco Canyon. Now that don't let that make you too happy yet, because the competition's pretty high. But let's make sure that we're always including, and you can watch the video that I've given you to on your slides to make sure that the phrase Chaco Canyon is in there. And then we're going to organize from high to low. Chaco Canyon, Seattle. Chaco Canyon map. Now, 590 people a month are searching for Chaco Canyon map. Let's say, in addition to the posts that you do about your paintings and all that, you happen to find a cool old map of Chaco Canyon, and you title your blog post, Cool Old Chaco Canyon Map. So you have and then you put the map in there and you talk about, I love this map, I don't know, why do I love this map, how many are the ways? And then words. Google loves words, but don't just stuff words.
Right. It's all about
Come
connecting,
from your,
isn't it?
connect. Exactly. So are you starting to get the feel for what I'm saying here? Yes, I think what I'm going to do, we have an hour almost, so we have at least a half hour of questions. And then, unless you want me to start pulling the raffle and start doing custom work for each of you, would you? Because I'm happy to do that, and you'll learn a lot based on what I'm doing here. Shall we start the raffle? Could somebody go get, Marcia maybe? I think it's on the front desk, the jar with the raffle tickets. Well, Marcia's on her way. She's on her way. So I'll...
Must have given you these.
You keep one. I gave you one because you gave me the number. So another question while we're waiting for the... Yes, Carol. And then you. I'm sorry, you too. Yes.
You said there are instances where you do need to get permission when you link, or how do you know when you need to get permission for linking? You know what I'm saying?
I probably did say something about that. I'm trying to remember what it was. Linking to a website? No, you usually don't have to get... If I did say that, then that was wrong. I mean, permission... I remember saying something about permission, but I can't remember what it was related to. So, well, would you like to be Vanna?
Should
somebody else, or would you just like to pick?
You have to pick.
Okay.
Get out your raffle numbers.
All right then. 4, 2, 7, 3, 7, 5.
I think we only need the last three numbers because 375. Nobody.
Right here.
Right there. You're too funny. But I already did you.
You did me. So I would be very happy to relinquish.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty then.
That's too funny.
Yeah, that is.
That's
funny.
the first person.
That was meant to be.
That is amazing. We don't have to do this at all. No, go.
431.
The last three numbers. Okay. Cool. So, thank you, Vanna. What do you have? What's your name?
Rachel?
Rachel. Do you have a website? And so you have a business that you want to promote. I think you even told me about it, but I've got so much in my brain.
Right.
What was it?
Working on the program name, the trademark, and domain.
For what kind of business?
It's a wood labeling program.
A wood labeling program, not a mechanical device? No, it's a program. Give me more. If you don't mind sharing it with the world. Who would use it and why?
It's to promote sales of wood in order to get more forest restoration improvements done on it.
It's about forest restoration to promote sales of wood that in a way that helps forest
To add value.
to add value. Who's your customer?
Well, I guess people who buy wood, but also New Mexico forest industry.
The New Mexico foresting industry might be one of your customers.
They would want to,
So,
anyways, pretty complicated.
yeah, and we'll just do a quick thing here, so if you had to give me the name of a company that might want to buy this, what would the name of that company? Would it be a state organization? Would it be a federal? Would it be?
Business like Old Wood LLC.
Okay, so it would be old wood. Somebody that uses old wood to make lumber?
Flooring.
Flooring. Okay, so what would they be searching for?
Oh,
This is what you have to go through in your brain. It's not easy. You have to think, no, wait a minute. Who's my ideal customer? Who's my ideal customer? What do they want? What are they searching for? And then you have to imagine, really, what would, if you put yourself in the mind of your ideal customer, what would they search for?
like program benefits.
No. Is the labeling that you're talking about kind of proof of the quality and oldness or whatever, vintage or quality, or that it's from a, what's the word, green harvesting kind of? Ooh, we're getting there. Okay, so, but it really doesn't matter. If it's labeling, you could label, that's the only kind of labeling you want to do? Is that one kind? So yes? So I'm gonna suggest to you that this is what happens across the desk for me a lot, and it's really fun. We get to kind of distill, now wait a minute, what am I doing, and where do I really want to go? What's my passion here? And what's the likelihood of making money doing this aspect of what I love versus this aspect of what I love? And can I find a set of ideal customers and imagine what they're searching for, and then do the keyword research to check to see how many people are making those searches, and then see how much competition you have. But I think it is too complex for this class to go any further with that particular question, if you don't mind. But I wanted to plant that seed. Marcia, Vanna.
I was just thinking cabinet maker with your wood.
Yeah,
Or
it's
sculptor,
like sort of
even.
a businesses who produce products, but also then you have people who buy wood.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
Real customer are people who want wood from a good source.
It's involved, and it would be a fun thing to figure out. Yeah.
We're looking for 381.
Okay. What's your name?
Michelle.
And do you have a website?
I do.
May I have the URL?
Yes. It's giarosejewelry.com.
Is that the way it's spelled? Up there, G-E-O?
Gia. It's Gia, G-I-A, rosejewelry.com.
Nice. So I see down here at the bottom, I don't know how many of you can see that, Gia Rose Jewelry, fine handmade jewelry, which is the tagline for your website, which Google will read. And you see how I'm highlighting, do you see how I'm highlighting text with, it's turning blue? Does that show up there?
Yeah.
So that means Google can read it. If you want to know whether something's a picture that it can't read with text that's a picture or text that's legible to Google, you highlight it the way I'm doing and Google can read it. So, Handmade Jewelry by Michelle McGregor. Let's just talk about the home page and let's do a little bit of keyword research for you. Like, we'll start with handmade jewelry. No, what we're going to do is we're going to start with jewelry, which is a terrible keyword. But we're going to sort the results. We're going to sort the results. There were no ideas returned for your query. Okay, I'm going to start over. Sometimes this tool does weird stuff and you have to go back to the beginning and start over. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. And I'm going to try putting jewelry in and see if I break it again because it's too many. It's too much competition. That may be why. But I want you to see why I'm doing it because this can be kind of an amazing, eye-opening thing.
Oh, 1.5 million. Good.
So watch. So I'm going to make sure that the word jewelry is in there. I don't want engagement rings. I don't. I want to just make sure it says jewelry because at least I have to limit it somehow. So organizing the results from high to low, 135,000 people search for jewelry stores. Fashion jewelry has 27,000 people searching for it a month. So what would I do if I did fashion jewelry? I would, now I don't know whether fashion jewelry includes sort of junk jewelry, junky jewelry, this fashion jewelry would be like costume jewelry. I don't know, you sort of have to check it out. Is it a good match for you? Don't just go with it because of the numbers. If it's a bad match for you, costume jewelry, 22,000, bridal, that's interesting, has 12,000. Silver jewelry. Why didn't it organize high to low? I'm going to hit that again. See where it says average monthly searches? I'm going to click on that again. Make sure it's going from high to low. So, body jewelry. Jewelry armoire, jewelry box, which would be good. Turquoise jewelry. So you get the idea. You can use this tool to scroll down and see from high to low what people are actually searching for and how it matches with what you're offering.
But it's also showing the jewelry stores, plural, versus jewelry store, single. It's
Yeah.
a phenomenal difference.
Yeah, so if you were a jewelry store and you were optimizing and you wanted to know whether the plural or the singular, you put them both in and you check. Yeah.
So would you be using these different words, these terms in your description?
Well, let's say if it fits, no, but we haven't finished our research. Let's go and let's say, which one of these appealed to you that we were just looking at here?
I think probably the most was the fashion jewelry.
Okay, let's do a search on Google for fashion jewelry. Now, we get 12 million pages show up, okay? You see that, right? And all these are ads, okay? From here down are ads, and these are kind of ads. I don't know if they really paid for, but so now you know, remember Lucy Moore got up above 44 million pages for environmental mediation after only 6 months of blogging once a month if you do the site right. So, I mean, it's not out of the question. If you were to start blogging about fashion jewelry, if you were sort of following the fashion jewelry world, using, if you had WordPress, press this to share, or just sharing that information, blog, post, and then linking to your fashion jewelry category, which would have to be the name of your category on your website. So, please let me change. I do kind of want to show this to you real quick. This is an example of what MailChimp does to send out an automated newsletter based on a blog post. Yeah, I wanted to show that to you. I don't know why. Okay, I'm just going to close that there. I forget where I was going. Oh, here. So instead of collections, I would have fashion jewelry, right? And then I would go to fashion jewelry, and I would have a paragraph up here that talks about fashion jewelry, and then I would have a blog, and I would start blogging and say, check out my fashion jewelry collection, okay? That's going to help you a lot. That alone will help you a lot. You're getting the idea? Do you mind if I move on to the next, if Vanna helps me again? Marcia?
This is very helpful.
Oh, good. Yeah, this real life stuff.
The critiques are
Yeah.
the best.
386.
Nobody's 386?
Somebody's 386.
Moving right along.
Do we have a 376 out there?
Yes. Would you like me to? I'm going to come around so I can see you.
Well, the question I sometimes feel like I'm a kindergarten. I'm sure some of you
You're not alone.
No, yes, you're not alone.
I have my uncle who's 95. There's a YouTube of him playing the piano. And I don't even know, and I have the name of his residence, not in my head.
Okay, her uncle's 95. There's a YouTube of him playing the piano.
But I have the name of the residence where he plays. And I don't have it in my head with me, I didn't even think about it.
So
Just
you don't know,
anyone
you know his name, right? You know his name.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Albert Dank, regular Albert, and it's D-A-N-K-E-R. And
Do you know what he's playing? What song or anything? Piano. Okay. We'll just see. What the hell? He's not showing up. That's okay.
It's probably, I need the name of the home.
Okay.
The residence.
What were you hoping that you would?
I'd like to see it and find it. I don't even
Oh.
get onto YouTube and I can get my.
You need to get the
astrology,
name of it, of the home.
And
Yeah.
then I add that with.
Just Google it. Google. You put it up here in YouTube,
Okay.
not Google.
The
YouTube.
name of the home.
Yeah, the name of the home, his name, but
Then, and I do that just in regular Google or in YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube.
So I know it doesn't relate to what I do, but it kind of does.
Okay then, we are looking for 383.
That's me.
All right, Aaliyah. So you have a beautiful website. Give me the URL again.
The easiest one is the number 5, element, DOM.
So, .com. No.
There's 2 .coms. There you go.
So this is Aaliyah. She does well. That's not working. Give it to me again because it didn't work.
The number 5.
I did that. Maybe it's www.the5 ELEMENT
Yes, DOM.
DOM.com. Okay, now we're there. So, cranial sacral, I love cranial sacral and massage. So, what are you hoping for from this website? What would be your ultimate preferred outcome from having this website? cranials, more cranial.
To contact me? To
No, but
education about.
do you want people to hire you as a cranial sacral therapist, as a massage therapist, or as any other thing more than anything else?
Acupuncture and cranial work primarily.
So acupuncture and cranial
Yeah.
sacral would be your two most. So let's compare those. See who's searching for more for one than the other? Why not, right?
And I specialize in 5-element acupuncture, which is different than a lot of it.
So her form, I don't know why this is doing this weird thing. There we go. So the type of acupuncture you do is 5-element. So let's start doing some research. I don't know why. I have to go back into the Google keyword. Sometimes working with the projector, things get a little wonky. So we're going to go back in here. We're going to start putting your keywords in. Now, you want Santa Fe people, right?
Primarily, although people have contacted me from out of state that are coming into town and they want me to work on them, which is nice.
Well, they're looking for somebody in Santa Fe.
But yeah.
Yeah, so it's Santa Fe, basically. People looking for what you do in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
I've done a Santa Fe acupuncture site. So let's just look and see how many people are searching for that to start.
Okay.
Santa Fe acupuncture, all right? And we're going to get ideas now. And this is where we start talking about, in your case, you don't need to be local, right? But in Aaliyah's case, she wants people searching for local services, right? So then it actually makes it easier because it reduces the competition from national to local. So 30 people are searching for acupuncture, Santa Fe acupuncture, okay? But 140, check this out. Let me see if I can do this right. 1 second. 140 are searching for it in reverse order, acupuncture Santa Fe. And so you want to do that. You want to check them all out, right? So I'm going to, I think it's safe to say that if I put 5 elements in, it's not going to show enough results for Google to register it, so I'm not going to do that right now. But so let's do cranial sacral, okay? Do you know if the people who contact you, who come from afar or whatever, were attracted to the 5 elements part, or just do you not know?
Actually, the people that contacted me from out of state were attracted to the 5 elements.
How did they find you?
They Googled.
They Googled.
Yeah.
So they Googled 5 elements acupuncture Santa Fe? And that,
I'm not sure.
you don't know, but good to ask next time, but I bet you, no, that's not her.
Oh,
There you are. There you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, because you've optimized the site for 5 elements, you know, the truth is that the number of people searching for it is so minute as far as optimizing the site for it. I mean, but how many clients have you gotten from that? Do you know?
So far, just a couple.
Yeah. Well, if that's what you like and that's working for you, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. You're absolutely.
It's more people that live in Santa Fe that
Right.
come back.
Right. So.
Out of town.
So, and I'm going to add cranial. Did I spell that right? C-A-C-R-A-L, S-A-C-R-A-L, Santa Fe. So I'm going to search for that as well, and we're going to scroll down.
In getting this data that you're looking at right now, is that telling you that when you do your website, those are the words that you should be using on your website?
That's what we're hoping to discover, although we haven't finished the research for that yet. But Cranial Sacral Santa Fe has 10 people a month. Now, if you got one of them a month, that would be nice, right? One new cranial sacral client a month would be nice. I mean, from the website. So you're already paying for the website. It's not like it's an extra expense. So I'm going to search for cranial sacral Santa Fe, all right? And I'm going to see if maybe you're already showing up. I don't see you on page 1. So if you wanted to show up, you would change one of your Like you have offerings, and you have to go into offerings to see all the different services you do.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That would be better if you could do like I showed you with Lucy Moore. There's a drop down. But if it's something you really want to do, you might change this here from About Aliyah to just About, so that you can make more room, and then have cranial sacral here
As a separate page.
as a separate thing, just to bump it up. And then you want to blog where you're blogging about your, all the things you do and the ways you've helped people, and what you're most excited about in terms of the work that you do, what people are most excited about. It's a beautiful website with great information. Yes.
Could she do on the About with drop down?
Yes.
With each of those things listed? And
Offerings. Normally it would be offerings with each of those things listed, and that is a way to do it. I was just sort of trying to bump it up even more. And About, you could put a drop down under About that says testimonials. But it is good to have testimonials right up there too, and it's also great to have testimonials on your page. Yes.
I've got a question. Scroll that page back up a little bit, not quite that. Yeah, at the bottom it says 5-element. Is that going to matter in the
You can check.
search?
You can check and see on the Google AdWords keyword planner to see if the dash makes it better or not. Yeah, you can test it.
That's a good idea.
So, yeah, but I would be blogging about what you do. You just have beautiful work, and yeah, maybe somehow get one of the testimonials right there. Even you could even have a testimonial here, like it's not as beautiful, or here, just a little quote right here, one of them. And some sites will let you rotate so that a different one shows up every time you load the site, which is nice. I will show you. Oops, I didn't mean to take a picture of that. I'll show you. I'm just launching this website this last couple weeks, and so I have testimonials listed under my About, and I also have testimonials here. And if you click on it, I have just a bazillion. Actually, I took out some, I guess. But anyway, yeah, you want so a blog would really help you raise your ranking if you start talking about cranial sacral. Maybe what's new in the industry. I don't know if industry is the word. The service. This is what I wanted to show you before. See this? Share this area here. See how that's different from follow? So there's follow and there's share, and in this case, this pops up. This little thing pops up after a certain number of seconds when you're on the website. So it's like saying, only if you've spent a certain amount of time are you going to consider sharing this page anyway. So don't make people look at it unless. So what I do with testimonials is I take a little snippet from the testimonial and I make it the title, not because it's search friendly, but because it gives you a feel. So I put the whole testimonial in, but then I take a snippet of it for the title to pull people in to read it. And I think that share button is about to show up down there on the right, but I won't bother to wait. Oh, there it is. Okay, you saw how that just came in there? That just popped in. All right, let's get out of there. So you can have services. There might be a better phrase here, like, I don't know, offerings makes me think more of something else, but
Like financial.
yeah, I would say service or modalities or something, and then have drop downs for each thing, unless you want it to really bump one of them by putting them on the top menu, and then have a blog.
So if somebody Googles either cranial sacral or 5-element acupuncture or acupuncture, even though it's on a drop down, it would still show
It's
up.
helping Lucy.
It would still show up.
That's what's happening with her,
If
yes.
it's under, say, modalities or something like
Yes, I would say it's not as good. It's
Well,
not
it's
as
not
good
as
as
good as-
having it be up as one of these main
I see,
ones,
okay.
but the answer is yes, it does help a lot. Shall I ask Vanna for our
And
next?
the, and
Yeah.
the about Aaliyah, seems like that's not really.
You don't need
that
it to
well.
say about Aaliyah. You could just say about, because it's taking up a fair amount of room on the navigation bar. But no, it's important to have it.
What
Or
if-
just about.
About us.
If she's not an us, I would just say about. Aaliyah, are you comfortable if we move on from here?
Sure.
Vanna.
All right, now, our next winner is 401.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's me.
Yay! Do you have a URL, a website?
OCD Custom Cycles.
Oh, Francis, for crying out loud. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Speaking of which, is Tom Anderson here?
Out of the motorcycle
No,
shop.
he's not. Okay. All right.
He was your,
What?
me.
Oh,
That was my wife's name.
oh, Anderson's your wife's name. I wasn't sure if you both. Hi. Okay, two people in the same row. Oh, it's too funny. So yeah, my husband goes and gets all his work done on his motorcycle with these people. They have a wonderful new shop, new location, fantastic. And I see when the website is this size, it's a interesting menu system here. I'm not sure how good that is for search engine optimization, that you have to click on the menu. Is that, wait, let me see if it gets bigger with, no, it doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I'm in the normal actual, so I am. So I'm not sure if hiding the menu on the home page is going to affect your ranking or not. It might not. It might not. It might be fine. And this is sexy and fun. The contrast here needs to be better if you on your navigation menu. You need these to be white or something, because they're too hard to read, including services. You know what I mean? You just want to make it really legible, but it's beautiful. So, who's your ideal customer? Buyers of motorcycles?
No. Just
Repair?
Their motorcycle service to repair.
Let's check it out.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I want to come, what I want to know as a motorcycle owner is whether or not you service my particular type of motorcycle. Is there a place I can find that on there?
I think at the bottom of every page says what we specialize in,
Okay.
or maybe not.
Okay, because that would.
Wait, look.
I am a
Look.
motorcycle owner, and that would be important to me.
But maybe not the brand.
So the services, yeah, at the bottom of every page.
I don't know what the brand is.
The brand she's looking for. Well, I mean, you would make a phone call and ask. I mean, I don't know if that's that important, but I know what you're saying. It would be helpful if, boom, it was right there for you. And it might be
We
that
actually service all motorcycles.
you may want to say that
Huh?
Spiders?
spiders.
Can-Am Spider?
Yeah, I know what that is.
Let's move on. I want to stick with what will benefit everybody right now, okay? So you want people to come for motorcycle repair. And how are you ranking now? And I'm going to try motorcycle repair without putting Santa Fe in. There you are. Okay, you're right there. And you've got the Google map, which is excellent. And then you're right here, and you've got a Yelp ranking. So you're already excellent. You really don't need to do anything about that. You would want to be improving some other aspect of your offerings, then we could talk about that, but you don't need any help from me with this. Yeah.
And I have somebody that does my website that works in the field, but I don't, it's okay, great.
It's-
I'm glad she did whatever she did.
She did it. She did a beautiful
Because
job.
I'm learning a lot from this session here.
Good. Good. Is there anything
I think
else?
There's a lot, actually, after you, that there's a lot to work on.
Okay.
I mean, I have a
Oh, good.
big plate here.
Great. Awesome. Is there any other question you'd like to ask me since that was so quick?
I'm glad that you commented about the menu, because I didn't like that either. And she insisted that the new, really contemporary websites use that. And so she's more about like innovative, and I'm more about practical.
Well, she.
We had kind of a friendly battle about that and still do.
I want to show you something.
So anyway, that's all I have. But thank you for.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm glad you came. Let's see, what was I doing here? I'm going to show you how this looks on my iPad and my phone. Okay, and we'll show, and I'm sure it's good because I'm sure she did a good
It's
job.
optimized, and
Yeah.
it looks very different. Of course.
Well, that's good, see? So
But not too different.
now we're going to go to this website on my iPad, and
Why is it good that it's different?
well, because let me answer that in a second. Give me the URL again. OCD custom what? Cycles.com. So the reason it's good. Does anybody like that show?
Wow. Okay, that's not it.
It's coming. You can see it scrolling.
Okay.
It's coming.
It's funny though.
I know, it's cute. Oh, Selfridges. So it's not as.
It's another kind of website.
So watch.
Oh, look at that, you don't even see the menu.
Yeah, it's the menu's in the same place. It's just different. So why is it better that it's different? Because it's not going to be legible on a smaller screen if it's not different. And we're going to put it on here now. Oh, this is my Twitter post. My well, let me put it up for you.
But
And
where
then
is the menu on there?
it's right here.
Oh.
Yeah. La 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 la. So I know what I'm doing. I'm making my phone.
She didn't want to waste the picture space. I'm just saying the way that forward, real contemporary web designer people think. And I just want to.
Oh, I know.
Visible.
I know. I agree. Now, you know, I just think that if my opinion is that not enough people are savvy enough to find that menu just now. In a few years, that may be totally. And your ranking is so high that it's not a problem for Google. OCDcustomcycles.com. Well, you don't have a lot of competition here. So you can see that this website is now loading on my phone. Is this software cool that lets me show you guys my phone and my? It costs $15. It's a little software. I'm happy to. So this is her website on an iPhone, and I think it's actually easier than the iPad because the menu is more obvious to me. And you know, it's pretty good. You get all the drop downs and everything. It's a really nice, responsive site. And are you ready for me to move on, or would you like?
I feel like I took up a lot of time.
No, it's great. It's great. And go to her shop. Take your, see what they.
The lucky winner is 380.
Carol, do you want me to help you right now?
Sure.
And you don't have a website, you have a domain, is that correct?
Yeah, but I haven't used it on it. I don't know when it's
And
on it.
but you would like a website that you do. I know you do this incredible work with tuning forks on the body, right? I've had Accutonics,
I also use singing bowls.
singing bowls. I've heard her play. It's amazing.
So
What-
it's kind of a healing thing, but I can't use that word.
But what do you want to do of all the things you're doing the most? What do you have the most passion about? All of it? You love all of it? It's fine.
And then also just singing too.
But what do you, if I held a gun to your head and I said, what?
Probably say go ahead.
Shoot me now, kill me now, don't make me tell you. And you had to pick one that you would like to get.
Okay, basically, I want to say healing, but I can't say healing really. That's like, somebody's jail or something. It's not quite enough.
So you love the healing aspect of what you do.
Yeah.
And
Singing would do that too, so I guess. I've heard.
Uh,
Sound healing?
I'm just sound healing,
Musical healing.
musical
Sound healing,
healing.
sound healing.
So I went to, what is it called? Startmail.com. It's a different one. Anyway, and I have this email address, it's called Resonance. So it's about resonance and frequencies to do what it is.
I like sound healing.
Sound healing.
I like it.
Uses that.
But wait a minute.
Oh, you mean for that, as keywords?
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
12 million pages come up when you search for sound healing. Okay, 12 million pages. But there 3,600 people a month are searching for sound healing. Okay, that's a lot. That's good. And now let's see what comes up. If it's coming up in Santa Fe, it doesn't. It's like you can't really tell if it's coming up for Santa Fe, or if you need to put Santa Fe in here, sound healing Santa Fe. And let's see, it's going to go way down from 3,600 to, drum roll, none. So now, there are very few people are searching for sound healing in Santa Fe, but Google is, if you were to optimize your site for it, Google is looking at IP addresses now. So if you're searching from here and you just search for sound healing and there's a site that's optimized for sound healing that's here, you're likely to show up. And I'm going to do a quick search for sound healing in Santa Fe just to see what the competition is for people that are.
Well, would it make any difference if you put Santa Fe sound healing?
Yeah,
It might make some, but not enough for you and I to go through all the iterations of it right now. Not enough.
What if you put acutonics, which is really the word that describes the sound healing?
Well, the bowls are fairly important.
Let's, we could.
Using the word healing, you can't really claim anything, so I don't know.
A lot of websites have healing. A lot of these have healing. It's not like you have to write, I will heal you of all your illnesses. If you come listen to my singing bowls, don't promise anything, but you can use the word healing, I'm sure. But I can't imagine, it's a word, I can't imagine that you can't. Look at all these people, and none of them are in jail, as far as I know. But anyway, so let's look at your website for a second here, if we can find it in all these others. Tell me again what it was, 3 elements, DOM, not COM, oh, I see what's happening, DOM. I have a different keyboard at home and a huge screen.
5 elements.
Oh, 5. 5 is better. And that's not working either. Oh, God. 5 elements, DOM.com for some reason. Maybe with a W.
Mine was 5 element.
Oh, wait. What's yours? I'm sorry.
I don't have one.
Oh, that's right.
It's my email.
My brain's starting to fill up. Okay, so I would look for, what the heck? Let's do this cool thing. I know you have a domain name, but let's look at soundhealingsantafe.com. It's available. It's available. Did I spell it wrong?
Healings. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the
Yeah,
S in Santa.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's available, so you could start with that, and then you could what? And you can do acutonics. You can look in the keyword planner to see if acutonics is better or worse, and decide. I think sound healing is more of a global, globally known than acutonics. But you would write about blog posts about acutonics. You would include information about acutonics for sure.
More about frequency, so whether it's acutonics or bowls or oil.
It's sound healing, regardless. So anyway, I would start with that, and then I would have a sound healing blog, and I would name it the Sound Healing Blog, and I would write about the different techniques. I wouldn't make any promises. You don't want the FDA coming down on you. Is that enough for now? Would you like to know anything else?
Oh, what about, yeah, if I did something like if I had a recording sometime. If I
Audio or video? Oh, to sell?
Yeah, to sell, or would it be better to have a YouTube with some things and then have some things to sell on the website?
Are you talking about selling recordings of your work? Well, YouTube you don't want to use to sell, but you could have a sample YouTube that you use as a teaser for buying, and then you could have the MP3s available for sale on the website. Absolutely, yeah.
That would be on the website.
It could be on the website, or you could be tuning into what CD Baby, the different places that are out there for people to sell. You could use a different company to sell them for you and embed that in your website, or directly sell them from your website, or both, Sound good? Sound healing? Okay, we still have a little more time. Yes, Francis, yeah.
AdWords.
Yes, AdWords.
Was that the one that you said was really tricky to get around paying?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Not
I'm
paying
crazy
necessarily.
that
Yeah,
it
no.
just directs me
It
to
just wants you,
a
it just,
campaign.
it'll make you crazy.
Okay.
And you have to, if you go to my blog post, my blog, it'll help you. It'll help you get around that.
Okay.
I don't know if it makes sense to mention that nonprofit organizations can apply for free AdWords. So like,
Oh,
and the.
is there a nonprofit in here?
I think we may not have any.
Okay.
I'll just mention it, the nonprofit lady left.
Okay, thank you, Marcia.
Do you want one more?
Yes.
All right.
Let's maximize this.
The lucky number is 377. Yes.
Yay! Okay, what's your name?
My name is Belinda. I have
Belinda.
two, webs-
Pick one.
names. Radiant Light Art Studio.
Is it a website?
Yes.
So you have two websites.
I have two website addresses.
This is you.
Yes.
Oh, wow, very cool. So your ideal customer is an artist who is visiting, or
Ideally, yes. I get people from all over the world.
oh, so you're like the Airbnb for artists.
Yeah, I guess you'd say that. I get
Yeah.
a lot of people through Airbnb.
What do you mean you get a lot of people from Airbnb? You use Airbnb, you mean?
do.
Oh, you use Airbnb. Honestly, that's kind of the way to go now.
Well,
What is it
I'd like
again?
to-
Airbnb.
Oh,
Now, of
gotcha.
course, doing both is good, though.
I
Airbnb.
feel like there are a lot of other avenues for me to reach out and connect with people. People find me in wondrous ways.
Yes.
But I really feel like I want to expand on the website and reaching out to more people.
So you want more renters.
I do.
Yeah. Okay, so then yes, why not? So let's look into it. Art studio retreat, art, what is it? Tell me, what are they searching for, your people?
It is a place for people to come and be in our beautiful New Mexico.
I know, but what are they Googling?
To do their work. Most of the time they find me just by using Art Studio.
Art studio.
But that could be so many things,
Wait a minute. Art studio.
space.
No, wait, let's just see.
It's a live-in art studio. That's the
Residential art
Oh,
studio.
that's interesting.
Okay.
Oh, resident.
Now, do you rent?
They
Is it
live there. They
it's a-
come and they stay.
But it's
for-
a rental.
Yeah, it's a rental.
That's what. Is it a short-term rental?
It can be all different periods of time. It can be 3 months, 2 weeks, all different times.
And they come from all over.
They do.
Drum roll.
Don't you want Santa Fe?
No, not if they come. Well, maybe you might, but right now there's not enough people. I'm going to art. I feel like there's got to be something that actually.
Retreat.
I thought of retreat. Art.
That connotes something different.
It does connote something different. I agree.
Well, it is actually
Art studio
very often
retreat.
what the result is that it's the experience.
Oh, yeah,
It's
I know.
very much like that.
Yeah.
Sanctuary. But that's not what people would necessarily use as a word. because they're coming to work.
See, art studio rental is, in the whole country, 110 people are searching for it, and you don't know if they're searching for live-in studio apartments. It has to include the word art.
Art retreat rental?
I know what you're saying.
Space for artists.
You know, someday I'm going to have a, what do they call it when it's like a coffee house gathering, what is it? Salon. So we can all go keywords for each other and figure, you know, come up with the best ones. It'll be super fun, right?
But it's, scroll down, there's art studio for rent.
Yeah,
It is.
the problem is it's not living. I feel like you need to,
Retreat.
That's what my other website address is, Santa Fe live-in-art studio.
Live
But it's-
work.
How about
Here.
artist residencies? Santa Fe?
now you're talking.
Well, that's true.
But then it's usually that's tied to a school. It's tied to artist residence.
You're gonna get everything in a whole
Residencies.
Re-
Residencies?
Yeah.
Retreat.
Yeah, you're gonna get Vermont
I-
residences. or-
Wait. Look here, people. 1,300 people a month are searching for artist residence. Now, retreat. Well, the thing is, if you optimize it for New Mexico, your website, then it's likely to show up if people are searching for it in New Mexico. Artist residence, what were we saying? Artist retreat. Let's just do it. Artist residence feels really good to me. It's simple.
Artist residence in New Mexico.
Or just
Artist retreat has 390, so it's not bad. Pardon?
Could you do just artist residence New Mexico?
So what you do is you start with the one with the higher search. Once we add New Mexico, the searches are going to drop. But if you have a website that's optimized for artist residence and it has your address in it and it's tied to Google, you want to have a Google Plus page with it with your address in there, and a Google Maps page. Then people searching for artist residence and they add Santa Fe or they add New Mexico or they add whatever is this, then you're likely to pop right up there, like the motorcycle site did.
Try artists live work.
No, I think this is good.
Really?
Yeah. I think, but you're welcome to keep trying.
And I have one other question.
Yeah.
I don't understand the difference between a blog and a website.
Oh, okay, good. Let me show you. I'm going to show you my website again because I can. And so my website, like many, has a home page. It has about me, about my pricing, about testimonials and resources I recommend. It has my portfolio and it has a blog. So a blog, I like, it changed its formatting. I got to fix that. So this is my blog post about my new website. And this is about conversion design with WordPress. This is how to use the keyword planner without a credit card. It's a blog post.
Is it a separate entity though to a website? Can you have?
You do not want that. You absolutely, under no circumstances. Yeah, it's passe unless your blog never links to your website, and then what's the point? You know, you want it all under the same umbrella.
Are you up for one more?
One more.
One more?
Who's the lucky last
The
one?
lucky last one is 385.
That's me, but
You've already. What's your quick question?
Yeah, just, is it more important the domain name or these keywords?
It's all important. The domain name used to be a lot more important than it is right now, but it's all important. All of it.
One more?
One more.
384. May have left already.
Next.
Option?
No. 376.
We are
I already have that.
okay. Okay. What's your website? Do you have one?
Yeah, it's just Helene, HELENE,
Right. I have it on a piece of paper in my purse. That's right. Hand-painted floor cloths. Now watch me. I think I can highlight this. See how I can highlight that text there? That means that if, let's say I were to grab that text and it looked like this, it looked like a box moving around, that means if there was text in it, Google couldn't read it. But since it's blue, Google can read it. So hand-painted floor cloths is your title for this website, and if people are searching for it, then God, I got lost. My brain is melting, I tell you. Let's look. Hand-painted floor cloths. And I'm going to actually do a Google search. We can't display the results. Okay, so I'm going to do an actual Google search for hand-painted floor. So what are they for? Are they?
They're like area rugs.
Area rugs, okay. So you get under a million competition because it's not, whoops. Let's do this again. Sometimes it just makes you start over Google. But it's free if you know how to get in there. Hand-painted floor cloths. Search. And then you go to keyword ideas. 70 a month, so that's not bad. And if we go to the search, are you in here? Do you see yourself?
No, because I think I just went up today.
Oh, really? Okay, so you're brand new. So you need to submit your site to vinyl floor cloths. Okay, so are they all vinyl?
Mm-hmm.
They're all vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I bet the search is better for hand-painted than vinyl.
Yeah.
So I might change that.
That's the niche, though, that separates it out from all the millions of other floor cloths.
Yeah, but maybe that your competition is.
What does the plastic do that makes it such a niche?
The vinyl, it's easy to clean.
I think it's going to make me start over again, which I don't want to do right now at this point. I'm kind of burned. But, oh no, here we go. So there's 0 people searching for vinyl. There are 70 people searching for hand-painted. I would change my, I would change this to hand-painted floor cloths, and then when they click on it, it would tell them it's vinyl instead of worrying about saying it here.
I'm a designer and I would not click on vinyl, but if it's that easy to clean, I would.
I'm just saying, as far as Google is concerned, if she were to change this to hand-painted floor cloths, the likelihood is better for her ranking to start moving up. And then I would blog about it every time I create a new one. You have a gallery here of your cloths?
Right.
So, beautiful. Very beautiful. Gorgeous. And then you have, nice, so you have this light box thing going on, which is really beautiful. Woo! Love it. So yeah, if you blog about it and you do some of the techniques I've been showing you, that's been awesome. I really, really had a good time with you.